Hello everyone, welcome back to the audit and attestation class. In this class of specific procedure to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, we'll be covering application of data analytics in different phase of the audit, including substantive audit procedure using the data analytics in substantive audit procedure. This is part 3 in continuation of part 1 and part 2 of audit data analytics. So please go through part 1 and part 2 as well before completing this session. Now coming to the application of data analytics on different phase of audit, like we said, in planning phase, execution phase and completion phase, right? What exactly you do and what is the objective you achieve using data analytics in the respective phase of audit. First one is planning phase, like we discussed earlier also, risk assessment. So data analytics is really very helpful in doing a better risk assessment, right? It identifies previously unidentified risk as well. So for example, now through the data analytics, you have entire population visibility. So there might be some risk which is undetected in earlier year because you may not have that much greater visibility. By using the data analytics, you'll be having a detailed visibility or complete visibility on the entire population. So you can identify some of those risks which might have unidentified in earlier periods, right? And then you can plan additional audit procedure to mitigate or respond to those risks, right? Second is identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement at the financial statement level as well as at the assertion level. So it helps you in identifying in better way of identifying the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level or at the assertion level both. And it helps in assessing the fraud risk as well, and it assists in determination of additional audit procedure required to be performed. So these all things, it helps at the planning stage, that is the risk assessment stage. Right? Any doubt? Anyone wants to add or need any clarification? So far, so good?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, now coming to the second phase, which is execution. In execution, what all we do? Three things: test of control, and what all things you do in execution? Test of control, substantive audit procedure. Right? In substantive audit procedure, you do substantive analytical procedure and test of details. Right? So in execution phase, majorly include test of control, analytical procedure, and test of detail. Right?
Yes, sir.
So in all these three phases, how data analytics can help you? First one is test of control. So data analytics can provide support and evidence in evaluating the design and operating effectiveness of internal control. And ADA can assist the test of control in following these. So when you are using data analytics, right? So for example, you are using data analytics and you are evaluating segregation of duty, or you are evaluating the payments has been made based on the authorization for the respective person, right? So what you can do, you can identify the list of payment against the respective person, and you can see, filter down easily what payments he or she has made beyond their authority level, right? Easily you can extract through the data analytics. Yes or no? So in the data analytics, you go to the purchase module, right? Purchase and payable module. You will see, like, for example, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩 is being authorized to make a payment up to $5,000, right? And then you will see what all payments that 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩 has approved, right? You can extract that, right? In that, you can filter down what all payments are more than $5,000, and you have identified, let's say, 10 payments, which is more than $5,000. So that means the controls are not operating as it was designed. Make sense?
Yes.
Are you able to visualize what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Kashish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So for example, if you have taken a purchase and payable process down, right? And you, as per the control metrics, as per the company standard operating process,
𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩 is being authorized to make the payment for up to $5,000. So there, when you do the extraction, you will see like who has made the entry and who has approved the journal entry, who has made the payment entry and who has approved the payment entry. So you go to the payment entry, you filter by the name of 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩, you will see like how much payment has been made for more than $5,000, and you have identified during the year 10 payment has been made for more than $5,000 by the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩. So here you can easily identify the fault in the operating effectiveness of controls, right? Make sense? So that's how, like same way like segregation of duty. So you can see whether the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩 has made the journal entry and approved the journal entry, or someone else has made the journal entry and 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐻 has approved the journal entry. You can easily put the formula on maker and checker, and you can see the same person is maker and checker, and if that is the case, that means is violating the company standard operating process, and it's ineffective control, or controls are not operating as it is being designed. So then you will ask for those explanation why the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐻 has made the entry and he has approved the entry, why he has not, you can say why his subordinate has made the entry and he has approved the entry, right? Make sense? So that's how like the data analytics will be helping you in test of control. First one is evaluation of external data to validate the controls outcome. Second is analysis of internal data to corroborate or dispute the effectiveness of control. Third is review of data or abnormalities that are likely to be result in a control failure. Fourth is aid in re-performance of activity. So how it can aid in re-performance of activity? So for example, let's say you have asset register, right? You have asset register in which you have the value of asset and you have defined rate, right? And then you have like monthly journal entry for the depreciation, right? Here you can do the re-performance or recalculation of the depreciation as well by using the data analytics on the respective population multiplication by the respective rates, right? Make sense? So that's how this data analytics can help you in the test of control process as well. Now coming to the substantive audit procedure. In substantive audit procedure, there are two main things: analytical procedure and test of detail. Analytical procedure we all learn in detail, comparing the current year data to the previous year data, comparing the company data with the industry data, developing the expectation, regression analysis, period over period analysis, trend analysis, classification modeling, ratio analysis, right? And performance of drill down analysis. So these all we have discussed earlier in detail. So these all you can perform in the substantive analytical procedure at the execution stage, right? Now coming to the test of detail, how data analytics can help you in performing test of detail. So like we discussed, major thing, it helps in identifying the risky area. So your test of detail is more on risk based approach rather than on random or key value item, right? Test of detail are performed on both transaction and balances to gather the evidence to support the value and disclosure within the financial statement, whereas data analytics can be incorporated into test of detail in the following way. First one is perform sequential check, right? You can do the sequence check whether the invoice number is from 1 to 1000 or if there is any invoice missing, right? Your purchase order number is from X to Y, or is there any purchase order number missing? So those kind of analysis comes under the test of detail, which you can perform by using the data analytics, and it help you identifying the fraud risk area as well. Second is test the entire population to verify the accuracy. So here you can do the mathematical accuracy test as well. For example, you can see the total sales coming out from the data analytics tools and compare that sales with the sales register. Next is compare the transaction against the external data to ensure accuracy, occurrence and accuracy of the data. For example, receivable balance in your data analytics tools, and you have used the confirmation. So you can cross check from the confirmation what is the balance in the confirmation to the balance in your data analytics tools for the respective receivable. Last one is utilize structured and content analysis to evaluate the source data to identify missing data and inconsistency or inappropriate data in the respective format. So this is the way you can use data analytics in the test of detail and analytical procedure. So far we discussed use of data analytics at the planning stage and execution stage. Now we are jumping into the third and final stage, which is conclusion phase, of audit. So when you reach toward the end of the audit, that means conclusion when you have done all the planning, execution, test of control, test of details, substantive analytical procedure, everything. Now we are coming to the very close to concluding the financial statement audit and about to sign the audit report. Right? Toward the end of the audit, the auditor will have advanced knowledge of the entity being audited, because now you have spent so much time with the entity and you have gained a lot of understanding on the respective account balance, class of transaction of the entity, and the nature and environment of the entity where it is operating. This deeper knowledge allows the auditor to apply data analytics similar to the risk assessment procedure, however, when with the new perspective. Using data analytics to assist when forming the overall conclusion allow the auditor to gain comfort that no material misstatement went unidentified. So most important thing, or the key objective which is being achieved by using data analytics at the conclusion phase, is that no material misstatement went unidentified or assessed during the course of audit. Right? So objective is no material misstatement is unidentified by performing the overall conclusion analytics. Right? Using the data analytics as concluding procedure may also involve updating financial figure or disclosure information that were discovered during the audit. So during the audit, you might have discovered certain problems or certain adjustments, certain you can say accounting entry or certain disclosure additional requirement. So you can suggest those additional adjustment and disclosure requirement to the management and ensure when you're doing the conclusion audit stage, those things has been already taken care by the management. If not, then you might be issuing summary of unadjusted differences. And if it is material, then it may result into any modification in your audit report, right? So these are three phases of audit in which you can use data analytics. Make sense? Are you guys with me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hope, hope you're not feeling drowsy or boring.
But I think too much story to digest, but I think it's fine. I mean, it's relatable actually.
Yeah,
Very
relatable, but you feel like it's interesting because there's a new topic, right? And this year it will be testing first time on the data analytics, right? So you can definitely see some question in your exam from this area.
Sir, in our surgeon software, we will have questions around this to practice.
Yeah. Yes. Next is test source data using data analytics. So now we understood at respective phase how data analytics can help. Now the testing the source data, that means the data which you have put into the data analytics software. So testing of those data is also very important to ensure the outcome of the data analytics is reliable, right? Effectiveness of the data analytics are depend on the quality of data they have utilized. So when sourcing the data for the performance of data analytics, it is very important that the data be analyzed to ensure it is complete, accurate, relevant, and reliable. So that is very, very important. Before putting the data into the data analytics tools, it is being the responsibility of the auditor to ensure cleaning up the data and reviewing of the data for the completeness, accuracy, relevance, and the reliability of the data. So that once you put those data into the data analytics tools, the analysis which is coming out of those tools are being also reliable, right? The auditor must identify what is needed for an data analytics, where and how the data can be sourced, and what procedure need to be performed to ensure the relevance and reliability of the data. So now coming to the data source for the analytical procedure. So data can be coming from the different source with the full integration of IT system, right? So you can integrate your data analytics tools into the IT system. Nowadays, like SAP, Oracle, they are also providing, like, have you heard about SAP HANA?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. SAP for HANA.
Right, SAP for HANA. So if you have seen SAP for HANA, they are giving a lot of great dashboard and visual tools within the SAP. That means it does not require to extract the data even out of SAP. Right, that's a beautiful tool they have come up with, and it's really very powerful for the management. And management is, like, most of the management are migrating from SAP 4 to SAP HANA now, especially like big companies. Right, even though they are paying big amount to the SAP for the conversion, but it's really helpful, and that's the future of the SAP, to be very honest. Same way, like NetSuite. Have you heard about NetSuite?
Yes, sir.
Right, so NetSuite, and then we have QuickBook, right? Have you heard about QuickBook? They are also coming up a lot of visual tools of the data analytics for their software, for their user. So now, like, the companies are trying to integrate within the information system about these data analytics tools. It can be full integration, it can be partial integration, or it can be through interface, right? So ADA source, the data analytics data source, can be from the fully integration of the system, partial integration of the system, or through an interface, right? The challenge with the data analytics are determine what data should be analyzed and where it can be found. And audit evidence can be utilized in the data analytics may come from the following source. One is information system. So information system can be enterprise resource management system, ERP system, management information system, accounting information system, executive information system, decision support system, CRM, customer relationship management system, supply chain management system, inventory management system, knowledge management system, right? So there are so many tools which company use, so many information system company use. So those information system data can be used for the data analytics purpose. Second is data storage functions. So there are so many companies who are storing the data. Like, for example, like we discussed in the morning, Dropbox, box.com, like Google Drive, OneDrive. So these companies are storing the data, and those data can be used for the data analytics purpose, right? So data can be stored in number of different data repository based on the type of data, include database, data lake, data cubes, data warehouse, data mart. And those data can also be extract and used for the data analytics purpose. Third is internal and reporting sources. Internal data and external data used in compilation of financial statement provide a source for the data analytics. This include audited financial statement, and the financial statement is being audited, like previous year audited financial statement or current year details of the financial statement, right? Transaction log, sub ledger, and journal ledgers, source document like invoices, purchase order, receiving reports, right? Standalone data files and spreadsheet, or connecting the device to the internet. So those all areas where data can be extract to use for the data analytics purpose. Last one is external source. External source, it can be from the government, right? It can be from private external source. It can be from service organization. So these are like certain source of data. It can be information system. It can be data storage function. It can be internal, external, or reporting sources, or it can be government. Make sense? What are the source of data for data analytics?
So, but one
Majorly,
question.
yes.
So like these information systems, so these are kind of data example of databases only, na, that
Yes.
usually have. So
Yes.
because these are the systems that usually are the front face, and then the same same side we have the backend in which data is being stored.
Yes.
So how is it different from data storage function and information
Yeah,
system?
very good point. Very good point. So information system is a processing tool which process your all accounting and other information, right? And where data storage could be like storage of the data from the information system and storage of the data from like different system as well. Like for example, industry data, for example, governmental data, for example, you can say, let's say, for example, Facebook. Facebook have information system, which is an accounting information system. But the huge number of data is coming from their platform. And where those data is being stored is in those data storage areas like database, data lakes, or data cubes. And those data can also be a great input for the data analysis purpose, like what kind of consumer coming in the Facebook, what kind of content they are consuming. So that can help the Facebook in doing the business analytics.
Okay. So then basically we can say that information system is part of that data queues basically.
Yeah, so
That's
data
one
storage,
part from where we can get the data.
information system data is also can also be considered in the data storage function. Yes. Cool. Now, source of data for data analytics include the data source for data analytics may be obtained using a variety of techniques and method, including utilizing built-in reporting provided by information system, like we were discussing earlier. Now, SAP HANA, right? Oracle, or you can say NetSuite, Zoho, Salesforce, they are providing a lot of great analytical tools within the system itself, which is inbuilt into the system. Custom query, like you can extract the report based on the custom query. Data mining using programming language. Data pull using the accounting or auditing software, right? Walkthroughs, entry interviews with the client. So these are certain tools and techniques for extraction of the data, or considered as the source data for the data analytics purpose. Now coming to the data type, right? So far, if you see, go back, I know a lot of data and data analytics we have discussed. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but let me walk you through really quick what all we have done so far, so that you should not lose the track. So data analytics tools, we understand what are the data analytics tools and techniques, technologies, certain example, then usage of data analytics tools, advantage of data analytics tools, 5 steps for application of the data analytics, then category of data analytics, descriptive analysis, diagnostic, prescriptive, and predictive analysis. Then after we went into the 3 phase of audit, where you can use the data analytics: planning phase, execution phase, and completion phase. Right after that, we try to understand like source data, testing of the source data, and sources of the source data, right? Then after, now we are coming of type of data. So type of data, there are 2 type of data. One is structured data and one is unstructured data. This is also very important, and you will definitely see one question in your exam: what is structured data and what is unstructured data? Structured data is like Excel sheets, right? Is like reports, sales report, purchase report, journal entry reports, right? Which is you can say very well structured and easy to convert into analytics. But unstructured data are those data like photographs, videos, emails, posters, creatives, right? Or maybe like captions, right? Or comments, or reviews. Those all are unstructured data, right? I'm sure you might be using like Facebook,
Yes, sir.
Instagram, right? So many people are posting the creative photos, videos, right, for them. So how does Instagram or Facebook is analyzing those data? And how does Facebook and Instagram come to a conclusion that this thing is trending now? And this is giving better user experience on their platform.
Number of likes,
Yeah.
reactions on those.
Yeah, so number of likes, number of reviews, number of comments, right? Video content, right? Photo contents, creative content, captions, right? So these all are comes under the unstructured data, right? So the nowadays both the data are important for the analysis purpose, structured data and unstructured data, but you should know which is structured data and which is unstructured data. If you see left hand side, structured data is organized and has consistent data type and format that is easily searchable, right? So first key characteristic is very uniform and easy to search. Second is structured data include data found in information system, spreadsheet, database, data warehouse, and data mart. So like for example, Excel sheet, sales report, purchase report, journal entry, or like maybe inventory transaction, inventory movement, fixed asset register. These all comes under the structured data. Now move to the right hand side, unstructured data. Unstructured data is essentially all data that is not a structured data. If the data is not a structured data, it will be classified as unstructured data, right? The data is typically in its original unmodified format and remain in that way until transformed or modified for the analysis. Unstructured data is not organized. Unstructured data is neither organized, nor it is formatted or data type consistency. This makes unstructured data difficult to sort and oftentimes require different data analytics tool than the structured data. So unstructured data that may be utilized for data analytics tool include social media posts, interviews, phone call, phone transcripts, right? Data source from sensors, non-traditional data type such as videos or image. So these all comes under the unstructured data. Make sense? What is structured data and what is unstructured data?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so now coming to the attribute to evaluate the data analytics. So there are certain attributes which you need to evaluate for the data analytics purpose. First one is numeric data. Second is text data, time data, and geographic data. So these are certain ways to evaluate the different which data analytics tools you need to use. Numeric data such as quantity, count, financial value, like for example, amount of revenue for a given month, number of transaction at a specific store, or quantity order of the various inventory. So those all comes under the numeric data in which numbers and values are being involved. Second is text data that provide descriptive value. For example, customer satisfaction result, Google reviews, right? Or how many of you have car? Do you go for car service to the authorized service center?
Yes, sir.
And after that, they will ask you to give us the ratings and reviews and good comments, something like that.
Yes, sir. Feedback.
Yes, feedback form. Yes, so those all are unstructured data or text data, right? Text data that provide descriptive value. So you're giving the description, you're writing, right? Consumer satisfaction result, transcript of consumer support call, social media post about the organization or the industry in which they operate. So those comes under the text data. Third is time data. Time data which indicate when activity or transaction occur, including the level of detail about the time. So in which year that particular event you are expecting, in which quarter you are expecting this much amount of sales, right? But which specific date you have some event, right? So those things comes under the time data. Next is geographical data. Geographic data that provide information about where the operation or event is taking place. So these all are attribute which you can use to further analyze the structured or unstructured data.